you. Honorable Lee Saravadevan.
Presiding member, this budget on the whole, it is meant for development other than northern part of this country. In Mahinda Chintanaya, I want a clear picture whether Mahinda Chintanaya is meant, the wonder of Asia, going to be without the north or with the north. Why the entire budget, the draft submitted to us, it reveals certain points which I can indicate here. Now, last year, the budget allocation for the provincial councils were 132 billion. The same thing is done this time, but from that, one could note the capital expenditure is, last year it was 31 billion, this year it is only 14 billion. Now everyone is aware without the capital expenditure you cannot make revenues. Now, more concentration given towards certain other items than creating revenue. Now, why I said that north part of Sri Lanka is completely ignored is, they have a special allocation, $60 billion given to other district, but nothing to the north, nothing to the north. Now, in fact, the whole world is aware the northern part of Sri Lanka is a war-torn area and it needs special attention by the government to bring all the sectors equal to, that is education, health, etc., etc. But instead, the defense budget is very high. Very high means you can't compare it with the other allocations. Even I could see the Economic Development Ministry has not got even 1/3 of it. The defense is 289 billion. Last year it was 230 billion. Prior to that, every year it is increasing. Which is needed today? I don't understand the logic behind how we are going to be in 6 years' time, wonder of Asia. It is something not possible I could see. Other than that, the only allocation from submitted, I could see 5,000 million rupees allocated for the universities, 3 universities, one is Jaffna University. I should say at this point, especially in the case of Jaffna University, today the people have lost faith with the Vice Chancellor, Ms. Vasanthi Arasaratnam. So these allocations, the lost means a highly intellectual personality is depending on the Honourable Minister, Douglas Devananda, and all the advices are sought from him. In fact, the deans or the entire Senate is against her. Not only that, she is making visits to the minister's office and he calls them there. Top educational institutions. I want the Honourable Minister for Higher Studies to make note of it. They were summoned there. In one incident, all the deans were summoned. All the deans were summoned and they were questioned. It's a very ugly scene. The entire council is politicized. And the decisions are taken according to the minister's wish. Therefore, allocation of this bigger sum, I do not know to what extent it will materialize in a fruitful manner. So therefore, the Minister of Higher Education must make note of it and he must rectify this as quick as possible. The other one, when they allocate 130 billion for provincial councils, one should know, now, they have not, it is not clear what proportionately it's going to be allocated within the north, because the governor is also working according to the minister's wishes. We could see, I am going to give more information when the committee stage arrives, not at this point. So therefore, now out of the 335 Pradesh Sabhas in Sri Lanka, they said 12 municipal councils they are the only councils working more than 100 they are getting 100 million income. But I should say about Jaffna Municipal Council at this point. I think that may be the only council which had a deficit budget. They have, without any, considering the cadre, they have excess employment, 400 people employed, and they are supporters of EPDP. And they have even drawn the fixed deposits in the banks to pay the salaries. And they have not still finalized. And those workers, those labor category and various other workers, they mainly do all types of jobs for the political party as well as the officers or the mayor, everybody's house, etc., etc. So this has to be noted. They have got temporary staffs. Then they are paying.
What's the point of order?
கௌரவ பாராளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர் சம்பந்தப்பட்ட விஷயங்களை விட்டு இபிடிபி என்றும் கௌரவ அமைச்சர் சொல்லி குற்றம் சாட்டி பேசிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார். யாழ் மாநகரசபையில் இருக்கிற எல்லாம் இபிடிபி உறுப்பினர் மாதிரி காய்ச்சி கொண்டிருக்கிறார். இதுகள் தவிர்க்கப்பட வேணும். பட்ஜெட்னா பட்ஜெட்டை பற்றி தான் கதைக்க வேணுமே ஒழிய சம்பந்தம் இல்ல கதையை கதைக்கப்படாது. சம்பந்தம் இல்ல
சட்டத்துக்கு விரோதமாக இருந்தால் அவரை நீக்கப்படும்.
ஒரு அமைச்சரை பற்றி கட்சியை பற்றி தேவையெல்லாம் காய்ச்சிட்டு இருக்கிறது.
I don't think he has understood what I say. What I say is he is intruding into all affairs. That's what I mean. He must understand that. I have not accused directly to him. So all these, they are paying almost 8 million for the temporary staff. Therefore, the Jaffna municipal budget is always, the last time the budget was, is a deficit budget. And it is not quite transparent also, I must take this mention. In fact, Jaffna is virtually, the north, I must say, is virtually under the control, with the blessings of the government, I suppose, under the control of the so-called minister. Other thing we got to note here, nearly 3,000 people who were rehabilitated, they were given some jobs by the armed forces in Mullaitivu. It's almost 5 weeks, but they have not paid anything to them. And also, why the civil forces should work under an army? That question arises. Why the civil forces should work under an army? It's all 3,000 people. So the question arises whether all the rehabilitated people are going to be in this position. I think this practice makes the people more and more highly worried, and the process of reconciliation is going far beyond. I don't think you can develop any better approaches to have close reconciliation, to have the reconciliation which is expected by LLRC. Now, apart from that, the other day, President mentioned, now this also has to be clear to us. He said, the system is necessary to make devolution more meaningful to our people. 60 years have gone. Does it mean there is no meaningful solution have been found up to now? I want to know what happened to Professor Vitarna's report. And there are so many other reports. How can you make everyone a fool? It is not fair. It is not fair. Devolution should not be political reform that will lead us to separation, but instead it should be one that unifies all of us. Of course, if you devolve the power and you recognize the minorities as one of them with equal citizens of yours, the reconciliation is very easy.
It's on the dustbin.
True.
I have paper cutting.
Now, the thing
Your
is,
parliament leader said 13th amendment should be thrown to the dustbin.
Why did they say?
Even then we said no, 13th amendment must be there.
Why did they say?
Because you are scared of LTT. LTT with holding their guns to your heads
No,
and saying throw the
not
13th amendment.
exactly.
That's not enough. That's the truth.
No. The expected devolution was not there.
That's the truth.
Therefore, we want more devolution.
Yes.
That is why the
No.
bilateral talks.
Today you are saying you want 13. Why? Because at that time you said you don't want 13 because the LTT were holding their guns onto your heads. When you said throw the 13 to the dustbin, we said yes, we want 13. Today also you are saying we want 13. But in your case,
right,
there was a time you said throw the 13 to the dustbin. I have the paper cutting with me.
Right. Okay, forget about 13 in that case. Why do you want to abolish it and go for another one? Why you can come out with your devolution package?
Nobody wants to abolish.
No, but now Honorable Vimal Veeravansa, Honorable
So
Chandrika
in that case,
Ranawaka.
now they are saying throw the 13 to the dustbin. Those days you said throw it to the dustbin. Whether you say it or whether somebody else say it, nobody can throw the dustbin so easily now.
Honourable Member, you have to decide whether you want to continue this debate or whether you want to continue to speak.
In what I say.
I want to continue.
The feet. If we can get permission from him and then interrupt him.
If he concedes, yes.
Yes, he can see that, sir. He
To
can
you,
see that.
yes.
He can see that, sir.
Whether he is
I will continue my speech, please.
It's
I
not
will
up to you to say don't
reminded
concede.
him.
I will
just
continue.
reminded him that it's his time.
I will continue. Since this topic has cropped up, I have to say something what I have written. The bloodshed of the Tamils and their sustained struggles made the Indian government pressurize the Sri Lankan government to bring 13th Amendment in the hope that it would to some extent fulfill the legitimate aspirations of the Tamils, whose struggle was and is for their fundamental rights to be restored to them. The repudiation of Banda Selva Pact and other unceremonial repudiations of Chelva-Datli Pact brought home to the Tamils a message that Sinhala leaders were not and are not inclined to consider and implement the proposal of an actual devolution of powers. The 13th Amendment was brought with the support, the blessings and the instigation of the central government of India. Now, when the senior ministers of the Sri Lankan government and the defense secretary speak out the repeal, nay, the withdrawal of 13th Amendment, which does not promise the hammers, but offers only some solutions to the perpetuated problem, for the solution of which an armed struggle was launched, several thousands of lives and the properties of Tamils were wantonly destroyed. Now, Tamil nation stand denuded. Tamil nation stand denuded of their rights, while the reckless destructions of lives and properties bear no fruit save successive disappointments, despair, the despondency of what the future of the Tamil nation would be. History has on record that it was India which was behind the Tamil youths, and that is Indian which was behind the total destruction of the armed struggle now. When the ministers belonging to the Sri Lankan government, Honorable Vimal Weerawansa, Honorable Champika Ranawaka, and others speak of immediate withdrawal of the 13th Amendment, the Indian government has a discreet silence over this issue. Such a silence makes Tamils have the hunch that it is India which is behind this move also. It is suspicion which nobody can claim unfair or unreasonable, because the Tamils have an excruciating experience of what India did and continues to do, determined to thwart their struggle for their rights, as we are protagonists of our own cause, which is the restoration of our rights and cunningly denied to us. We do feel that we have the right to ask the central government of India to disabuse our minds of the suspicion that we have by doing things in an honest manner without playing the dual role of speaking of a solution to the ethnic issue while parting on the shoulders of those in power in Sri Lanka to carry on what they have decided to do, whatever their moves militate against the legitimate aspirations of the Tamils or not. We genuinely expect the central government of India to play a decisive role in a bid to find an amicable and enduring solution to the most vexed ethnic issue without any further dilly-dallying in the process. Today, Honorable Vimal Weerawansa and Champika Ranawaka resort to legal action.
Honorable Azwar.
Honorable Member, I would like to ask you, are you expressing the official view of the party as far as the Indian government is concerned? Because they have gone and met the Indian leaders there and come back. Are you voicing their sentiments?
Taken by Honorable Member. Today, Honorable Vimal Weerawansa and Honorable Champika Ranawaka resort to legal action, get the 13th Amendment annulled. In the same manner, they dismantled the amalgamations, Northeast merger by the Chief Justice. In the same manner, the Northeast dismantled by the former Chief Justice, Sarathan Silva. I should take this opportunity to say, it is in the hands of the government to extend their magnanimity towards us, to make us trust, then the reconciliation process could continue without any. Instead, in the government itself, people like Honorable Vimal Weerawansa, Honorable Champika Ranawaka, we could see every day the paper says something. Even today's paper it is carrying. The people are disturbed. The Tamil people think that they will never get anything. No, it's in the paper. No, my paper. I'm telling you, I think honorable member, as usual, I don't want to say like Sumandran that there's a card pack, there is something. But what I want is, I am telling the fact.
That is why, Honorable Chair, that this problem cannot be solved. Because there is a fundamental division in the Tamil national alliance.
Don't disturb, he has only one more minute.
You are the best person. You are the best person.
One more minute.
Yeah. Honorable, please leave me.
One more minute,
No,
please conclude.
I'm not abusing you. Huh? Okay. He's always
he disturbs always and takes the other man's time, not only with me, with everybody. Finally, I appeal to all the members, the government party, they must go forward towards finding the avenues for the proper solution and bring reconciliation. Thank you.
Thank you.